ladies. Okay, so, and men, if you're watching. So, the title is How to Know If You're Losing. Before I start, I just want to say that Shira 7 is my inspiration. I aspire to be her. Well, not entirely, but I like a lot of the points that she says. She's very smart. A lot of what I'm gonna say is credited. She's credited for it because she put me on to this. So check out her channel after you're done with this video. So Shira 7 is her name. I'll link her down below. So okay. How to know if you're winning. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions, and then based on your answers, you'll know if you're winning or not by the end of this video. So the first question, did he shoot his shot or did you shoot yours? And this is a simple question, ladies. If he shot his shot, which that's how it's supposed to be, then you're good so far. That's like just the most basic thing. If you shot your shot, you're already losing. Because a man is supposed to chase you. If you're the prize, why are you chasing him? You don't see the little toys, you know that crane game? You don't see the little toys sitting at the bottom. Pick me, pick me, pick me. No. If you got skill and you know how to play the game right, pick it up. And you're going to leave with your choice of what you want. So, that's the first question. Did he shoot his shot at you? Or was it backwards? Because I could go and talk about that forever, because there's many reasons why that's just awful and so backwards and just so wrong to do. I'm not gonna say wrong, because who am I to tell you what's right and wrong? You're still gonna do what you want to do. But all I'm gonna say is it leaves you at a disadvantage, because you are already showing that you have interest in him, which he should never know that. First of all, he should only have interest in you, and he should be trying to win your interest. He should be trying to win you over. He should be trying to get you to even glance at him. So if you shot your shot at him, you were already losing. And if you still don't see something wrong with guys shooting their shot, then I could make a separate video on that. I could really make a separate video on the whole reasoning behind it, an analogy, but I'm not going to do that right now. So, question number 2. Do you text him first, or does he text you first? And I'm not saying that you can never text him, but in the beginning you don't really want to text him. You don't text him first. You don't text good morning. You don't text good night unless he says it first. Then you can say it back. But you just really don't want to text him too much, because you need to seem busy with life, okay? Because you are busy with life. You have a whole life going on without him. So you need to be clearly busy doing your own stuff, okay? Without him. And that's a period. No, seriously though. So you texting him, good morning, what are you doing? Hey, what's up? I'm bored. Never do that. never, never, ever text him, "What's up? I'm bored." You're never bored. And if you are bored, he's not your source of entertainment. You don't let him know that. No. Texting a man, "Hey, I'm bored. What you doing?" just lets him know that when you have nothing else to do and you have free time on your hands, he's on your mind. All that's gonna do is gas him. Why would you do that? Don't gas him. Don't gas him. So yeah, ladies, I'm teaching y'all something. Do not text him. At least don't text him first. Wait for him to text you and you respond. Okay? So answer that question. And this could go in regards to making plans as well. Don't text him for plans. Well, like, he should be making all plans for what you guys should do. He should be wanting to do that because he's the man and the man makes the plans. You just approve of them, okay? But whatever he comes up with, I'm going to move this into the third question because I'm going on now. So, okay, the third question. Has he taken you out? And this is a double question. Did he pay? Now, first of all, has he taken you out? When a man likes you and he asks you out, where he decides to take you says a lot about what he thinks about you. If he decides to take you to McDonald's, he thinks you're a McDonald's chick. Okay? If he decides to take you to Olive Garden, he thinks you're obviously more highly of you than the McDonald's chick. I'm not gonna set the bar to Olive Garden because you can always do better. I want a lobster. So you can always do better, but I'm just saying, like, see where he decides to take you. It says a lot about what he thinks about you. Like, if he thinks that you would even remotely agree to go somewhere ghetto, then obviously he just thinks you're a ghetto chick. Like, understand that. Also, him paying, that is something every man should know. So it's a no-brainer. If he didn't pay and you paid, you're already losing. You should never have to pay. Yeah, especially on a first date. That's like you had one job. Like, you couldn't even pay for the first date. Like, that's awful. Awful. So yeah, if he hasn't taken you out, you're losing. And I'm going to tell you why. And this is like, Shira, let me just say something real quick. Shira, she gives advice to adult women. I'm 19 years old. I'm giving advice to teenagers and young girls my age. Okay? So basically, yeah, I know that a guy our age, unless you live around a bunch of like rich people, unless you met a rich young boy, entrepreneur, whatever, they don't have money. So a lot of guys our age aren't going to be spending all this money on us. But I'm just saying that if he didn't text you to go out, I'm sorry, if he didn't make plans with you to go out and he only like has asked you to like come to his house, like his first, when he hit you up for plans, his first idea was to chill at his crib, Netflix and chill. We too over that at this point. We're too grown for that. We're past that. I'm past that. Netflix and chill. If he does that with you on the first date, that just means he really, well, we all know what Netflix and chill means, so I I don't really need to explain too much. But if a guy knows you're a high value woman and like knows that, you know, you're bougie per se, I don't mind being called bougie. Why? Because at least then they know they can't hit me with no, hey, come slide and let's chill at my crib. Like, no. Take me out. That's all I'm saying. So, I'm just telling you guys, you girls, if he hasn't even taken you out, he really doesn't respect you like that. And think of the places he's taken you out. I don't know. You decide for yourself because only you would really know. Like, I'm not gonna say that if he took you to Wendy's, he doesn't love you or doesn't, you know, value you. But think about it. Can he afford better than Wendy's? Because if he can, he shouldn't be taking you there. Does he take himself to Wendy's? Does he? Or can he afford to dine out at nicer places for himself, but just doesn't want to take you? And even whatever. Next question. Are you benefiting off of him? Because we all know he's benefiting off of you. Men take from women constantly. This is really good for your immune system. It's ginger ale. Anyways, men constantly take from women. The least we can do is reap some benefits from them. So, if all you're getting from him is some hard and bubblegum, do better. Please do better because, listen, that gets old real quick, okay? He shouldn't even have access to parts of you until you have benefited from him. You ever heard that song, get that bread, get that head, then leave? Get him to spend some money on you. I'm not trying to sound, it's not being a gold digger, it's really not. It's just, Shira says it all the time, it's even exchange. Because if you think about all the men you've dealt with in the past, or boys that you've dealt with in the past, how did they end? Don't you wish that at least you could leave those situations saying, well, at least I got $200 bag out of that, or at least I got $400 worth of makeup or whatever. Don't you wish you could at least say you got something out of it? Stop leaving empty-handed and leaving him with so much to talk about with his boys. Oh yeah, and she did this for me. Oh yeah, and we did this. They always have so much to say. They're like children. They have to talk about everything. They can never just keep their big mouth shut. So, if you know that this is how they are, especially at our age, that they're just stupid, at least get something out of it. That's all I'm saying. If you want to call it being a gold digger, so be it. But if you're gonna cheat on me anyways and F up my mental health, I could at least get something out of it. Okay? And the fifth question is kind of personal, but it needs to be answered. Have you done anything sexually with him? Because if you have, I would say depending on what it is, but yeah, okay, depending on what it is, you may have given him all the power. If he, for example, just gave you sexual pleasure, that could, in a way, be a flex, you know? It could be a flex. You did nothing for him. He only did something for you. That is a flex, I would say. However, and the reason it's a flex is simply because of the fact that he wouldn't go to his boys and brag about that. Like, if you left his house and that's all that happened is that he gave you some, you know, he wouldn't send you home and then talk about it to his boys on the PS4. He wouldn't do that. Because it would just make you look too powerful. And he wouldn't want to embarrass himself like that. So, but if you gave yourself to him, you may have already lost. Because that is the one thing they're thinking about when they first see you. Every man, when they first see you, they're thinking about how quick they can sleep with you. So if you give him what he's been fiending for, he really doesn't have to try, does he? No, he stops trying, if anything. A lot of girls have this false narrative that if you give yourself to a guy and it's good enough, he'll just keep wanting to come back for more. Honey, no. They're like dogs. They get bored, okay? They get bored after a while playing with the same bone. They need a new one, okay? That one's old and dingy. I need a new one. If they keep needing something to work towards, you know, if they're gonna be working towards that if you don't give it up so soon. So you can, you know, get as much out of him that you can until you do decide to give it up. But even then, you never have to. If you're playing your cards right, you can win. And I just wanted to make that very clear, that there is something in a woman, that is something in a woman that is so sacred, because I could really go into that for a long time, but it's just something that is on every man's mind in the world. This is all they think about, like literally sex. Sex is everywhere. It's on TV. It's in kid shows. It's in video games. It's in magazines. It's everywhere. So, if this is the most sought after thing, you should value it that much more. Because you have something that everyone wants. At least every man wants. Okay? So you should value it that much more. Got a hair in my mouth. You should value it. Once you learn how to really hold on to that, just dangle it in front of him. You can get whatever you want. Okay? So, I'll get into some ways that you can improve. Okay? So, one way, fix your thinking. You need to know that you're better than him. You can't be all googly eyes over the man that you want, okay? Or the man that wants you, or whatever, over him. You can't. I'm sorry. He needs to be that way over you. The guy always has to like the girl more in order for the relationship to work. If she likes him more, it's not gonna work, because his ego is gonna get way too big, way too quick. Happens way too fast, and then next thing you know, he's cheated on her. All right. So you need to know and believe that you're better than him, and understand that I am way better than him. I can do so much better than him. So he needs to try and keep me happy so that I don't leave him. Okay? Now, number 2, remember that you have options and always keep them on the side. If he hasn't made you his girlfriend, like legitimate girlfriend, girl, always keep options. I'm sorry. Never, ever, ever stop talking to other people until he literally makes you his girlfriend. Okay? I don't care how exclusive you guys get. If he hasn't actually made you his girlfriend, then you have right to have all the options and other men on the side that you want, because that's just how the game goes. Okay? And yes, keep them on the side, keep them entertained, talk to them. You don't have to talk to them every day, but you should be talking to them consistently. Actually, what am I talking about consistently? You really don't have to. If they'll be at your beck and call, but keep them there, because you don't ever just want to be too fixated on this one person, the main, because if you're too fixated on them, you'll get expectations, false expectations, and all is going to end in is heartbreak. And here's another thing. If he has ghosted you or just isn't texting you as frequently as he used to, that could be for multiple reasons, but it could be for multiple reasons, honestly. It could be because he got what he wanted from you. It could be because he didn't get what he wanted from you. It could be because he's bored. I don't know. But most of the time it's one of the first two. And I'd say if he ghosted you, next time he texts you, don't answer and disappear. And this goes in general, constantly disappear, literally. Constantly just stop texting him. If he does it to you, play that card back. Okay, you're reciprocating energy. And even do it for fun sometimes. Even if he doesn't do it, just disappear and then text him. Oh, I'm sorry, I was so busy with life, I literally just forgot to text you. Don't even act like you didn't even notice that you weren't texting him. Like you were just so busy with life that you just, my bad. Because then he'll realize he really doesn't matter to you. Okay? He should not think that he matters one bit. And lastly, train him to be the man that you want him to be. You can't ever make a person loyal or anything like that, but if someone knows your expectations and what you want, they'll try to meet those expectations to keep you around, or they'll leave because they know they're never going to be good enough for you. So make everything clear, lay it all flat out on the table. from the get. This is what I expect from you as a man, and this is the treatment that I'm used to getting. So if you're not ready to spoil me, then I'm sorry. The door is right there. The door is right there. Okay? So this was just like a quick little, advice. I need to get this message out because too many of my fellow beautiful, beautiful ladies are struggling, and no more. Okay? We will show these men who's really in control, because you need to know that if you're the woman, you are in control of the relationship. Always. Okay? Have a good one. Bye.